All right, so here's Willowbend's fireworks from August 12th, 23, and once again, we're going right through them. This is going to be a compilation of those close calls, as well as some beautiful panned out shots of an amazing fireworks show. Willowbend really outdid themselves. It was over 30 minutes. I had so much material to pull from. There was no way I was just going to play it straight through, so it gave me the time to pick and pull and edit. And I really like the adventure of going through them and trying to get the close-up shots. So you'll see how I edit it there, and just love the sunset. They started off early tonight so you can see some blue sky on the horizon. They're so close. But then you've got the far away shots. One of the challenges with this show is there's the close one. Willowbend's not launching, 1 minute of these, 30 seconds of these, then 30 seconds of these. What they're doing is they're launching all of it. I constantly felt like, oh, this is the finale. Oh, here's the finale. It was just a barrage of everything they had. They just wanted to overwhelm your senses. And I could hear the people on the ground, the kids, the adults, the oohs, the ahs, the cheering. It was almost nonstop. And I'll definitely be recording audio from the people watching in a future show. But seeing those reds and those greens and the yellows, and the challenge I had was because they're launching everything at once. You'll see explosions 20 meters below me, explosions 20 meters above me. I'm trying to get that center medium, but I don't know where to look. There's, here you see the cameras angling down. The drone was typically between 35 and 60 meters, so I had this 25 meter variance where I'd fly up and I'd fly down, and I'd fly up and I'd fly down, and I'd angle the camera down and I'd angle the camera up. Somebody said this a couple times ago, a couple of firework displays ago. They said they were absolutely fascinated by the amazing video. And I thought, well, it wasn't anything amazing. It was just video of some fireworks. But what it was it was the perspective. We all see fireworks from the ground looking up at them. But to see fireworks from above or from level being there, that's not a perspective you're used to seeing. And that got me thinking, well, what's something else you don't see very often? And that's the perspective of being in the firework. There was some risk. I thought, honestly, there was probably a 50% chance we'd lose the drone the first time. But this time here, we were hit by at least one firework. And maybe I'll make another video. Oh, that was probably at the just passed. But you see the little bump. And holding the remote, I freaked out a little bit. I thought, oh, this is it. And I'd lose the video. I mean, I feel really confident making these videos because the fireworks are on the beach aiming out over the water. So wherever we are water. So if we get hit, that drone's hitting the water. The boats are out farther. The people on the beach are farther the other way. So I'm not so worried about the drone causing any damage or harm falling from the sky. But who wants to lose this video? I mean, or the thousands of dollars, but this video, I mean, to sit out here for 30 minutes and capture this and then to get knocked out of the sky, I wouldn't be happy about it. But this perspective, one of the things I really like about the drone is, yes, it catches different perspectives and stuff, but photography and videos of fireworks I've been doing for years, and they just don't hold up to being there. And you know what I mean. You've all seen fireworks. This isn't as grand. Never is. But the difference is it's the three-dimensional. You see stuff coming and going, and it's so flat on a screen. But I find when you're flying through it and going around, so you see as I fly through, and then I'll turn and come around inside, and that turning right there, you see it. It gives that three-dimensional structure to the explosion. And I find it's just a much more improved video, just rotating around the firework as it's exploding. I mean, being right in the explosion is just something out of this world. There were a few clips where I thought, oh, that's absolutely got to be in the video. But it did make it hard to make a thumbnail. I'm trying to pick which the best explosion, and the explosions are something right out of Star Wars. You see this bright green, bright red ball of laser just shooting across the screen, and it's just amazing. I still actually haven't decided which thumbnail is the one that's going to go on the YouTube video and the Rumble video. But I don't actually know where you're watching these videos. But we have Brighteon, YouTube, Rumble. Our other YouTube channel just... Oh, look at those beautiful purples. I don't like the way YouTube just deletes videos and censors things. I don't have a clue what they complain about. I mean, this is not political. This is not some of these things that are on here. I've had videos of my kids get stricken down and stuff, and I'm like, what is wrong with this? So we put them out as much as we can. So you see these videos. Oh, look at the ground light up there. Love that perspective. But you'll see videos on Rumble, Brighteon, and YouTube. Then we also post them to Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. Granted, they're not all everywhere. They're all on YouTube. Most of them are on Rumble and Brighteon. And the other places I try to keep up, but I honestly can't figure out Instagram. Everyone's like, oh, it's the most popular. Well, I can't figure it out. Look at the beautiful. I just love getting in there. Make sure whatever social media channel you watch our videos on, please give us a like, subscribe, follow us, whatever the buttons say underneath. It really helps us out. You see what I mean about every different firework just launching simultaneously. The spinny ones, the whistle ones, the bright gold exploding ones. Those gold exploding ones. Those ones that shoot to the side, the big green and red ones. They're just all constant. If I could record the video of me sitting out there with the remote, I'd be like, oh, this has to be the finale. And I fly back in. It was never the finale. They just went on and on and on. And it was over 30 minutes. I nearly drained an entire battery just recording these things. I'd like to get more of the bright color ones down there. In the last video you'll see from Lackland on, I think it was the weekend right before this, you can click back and look at it. But there was one scene where just all the bright colors were going up and there was nothing else. And we're pivoting around the smoke trails. And that's still to this day probably one of my favorite videos. That little clip's going to be one of my favorites for a long time. Well, there was the one that was the same weekend, Stacy trying to kill Kathy. That was a good video clip too. This is probably the safest thing we've done on the lake. Nobody can get hurt, nobody can drown, and everybody partakes. And apparently down there on the beach somebody was handing out popcorn. Here I was, popcornless. Not that I had a free hand to eat popcorn. But I do love these distance shots. You can see the campsite in the background, the beach lights up with the big explosions. And then trying to get the height, the altitude right to fly through them. Ooh, I almost got it there. So many different fireworks. And here you see the rotating. And if you see them moving while it's rotating like that, it just gives such a unique perspective to the video. It's crazy how many hours I have spent recording fireworks on the DSLR, on a phone, on whatever I had. I may never watch those videos again now that I have this drone doing this. But it sure is a challenge getting in there. Once again, I remember that was a scene. I thought that was the finale too. And then this happened. I'm like, oh, maybe this is the finale. Kudos to the guys that arranged this, because that's a lot of firework. And you can see them on the ground. They're launching from 3 or 4 different platforms there on the beach. And that's a neat thing too. Most people don't ever see those fireworks actually getting launched, those shots of flare of fire shooting from the ground. I wanted to talk over all this and tell you what we're doing and why we're doing it, but every once in a while I just get enthralled by the firework. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe. Check out our website, aerialartistry.ca. And if you have a need for our services, let us know and we'll be there. Bring out the crew. Give you something to save.